This wallet has seen better days. First of all, let's take a look at the shape there. It shouldn't be so cattywampus here, all right? It definitely shouldn't be curled up on the edges. One of the reasons I heard that vintage Louis Vuitton in particular does that is because the canvas will begin to shrink at a rate faster than what the interior leather does, and it will start to pull away and actually create that issue. On the edges, we are missing a lot of edge coat. Look at this edge. Look at that. The thread is completely gone. The edge coat is gone. If left this way, this thing is just going to keep getting worse and worse. Look at that. The hardware could definitely use a shine because look at this side. The hardware is actually like two-tone. That's not so good. We're gonna try to work on that. Inside, it looks like, oh, somebody's initials were here at one point. IM, and someone, maybe that's an L. Somebody tried to take it off with acetone, and yeah, that doesn't look so good now. We have some discoloration here as well. The snaps and the outer hardware doesn't appear to be in bad condition. Let's open up the kiss lock side, see what that looks like. Okay, overall pretty good. It does look like there's some coin residue in there. Not a whole lot, but it definitely does need to be cleaned up. We're gonna give this Louis Vuitton wallet new life today. Let me see, I'm interested in seeing, oh, I guess, do neither of these sides open? Is this side stuck? I feel like this side is supposed to open. Like this should open. Okay, hang on, now I have to know. Oh, it is oh my gosh, it's actually pulling away. Oh no. It's stuck together, you guys. Like, it is, oh look, it's like sticky and peeling. I wonder if the owner of this wallet even knew that it's not supposed to be like that. Okay, that would explain why the shape is so off also. We're gonna bring this thing back to life. It is my personal mission. This is about to look so much better. All right, I feel like we got our work cut out for us on this one. I just couldn't believe when I saw that there's supposed to be like a bunny section, a money pocket that can't even open right now. We're definitely going to start this Louis Vuitton rehab with the sponsor of today's video, and that is Klean Kickz. Guys, this is a motorized shoe cleaner. That's why it's called Klean Kickz, turned purse cleaner for me personally. I have been using Klean Kickz for probably about 3 years, I would say. And in that time, I decided to give it a shot with my luxury and vintage bags. This was specially created for leather, suede products, really expensive sneakers. You know, it's a sneakerhead shoe cleaner. Knowing that it was formulated for those luxury materials, I thought, what could it do for my luxury bags? And since I have started using it on purses, honestly, I've only used it on one pair of shoes. I love this for purses. By the end of today's video, you're gonna love it for purses too. When you decide you need your own Klean Kickz kit, you can get the motorized cleaner. This is battery operated. I use rechargeable batteries in mine. You get this soft brush head, the rough brush head, the 100% organic plant-based shoe cleaner with the lightest fragrance of rose petals is how I would describe it. And you get a microfiber cloth. All of that in your kit. Pause, because they actually just doubled that offer. You now get 2 bottles of cleaner, 2 microfiber cloths, and 4 brush heads. It's the Purse Paradise bundle, and it's practically the same price as what everything was before. And you can save 20% because Klean Kickz didn't want to just sponsor this video. They wanted to give you guys something too. Use code Rachel20 at the link in the description or the pinned comment at the very top of the comment section, and you can be cleaning purses and wallets like a pro too. One of my favorite things about this tool is how small it is. I think I'm going to be able to clean this entire pocket. We're already going to have to do touch-up paint inside here, so I'm not worried if I get this a little roughed up if I have to paint it, but I don't want every time bills are coming in and out of here, someone's hand comes in and out of here, to have to feel that. That is really built up quite a bit of glue there. At this point, I took the grinding stone, sanding stone, onto my Dremel Light. I have no idea what gremlin came and stole the footage of that. You will see that tool just to the left in this next little bit of footage, but I set that on the super glue that was inside this pocket and I just grinded it away. Honestly, I haven't even painted yet, and look how much better that looks. It's pretty smooth now, like pretty flush. Looks like I could maybe take a little bit more off, but I didn't even have to add paint. Just using that to like buff that off, to grind the paint off, really seemed to do quite a bit of work. I do notice that it's dirty throughout here as well, so we're gonna get the soft brush back on the Klean Kickz here and just take care of any of that real quickly. We don't want this wallet to be dirty anywhere. Clean is the name of the game here. Including the inside of the coin pocket here on the sides. All right, versus it's already looking better. This little wallet is already looking better. I do have a few ideas for this LM. Obviously it needs to be repainted, but I am considering putting something over this. More on that in a little while, because this wallet is actually going to be for my sister, and I'm thinking about either doing her initials, or I'm going to offer if she wants a plane or something, because she's a flight attendant, so it might be kind of cool to just cover all of this with an airplane type of decal. Maybe. I don't know that I would be able to completely cover. I mean, if I made her initials larger, I could cover this. I want to use my laser engraver to do that. So hopefully she will be agreeable. I'm going to reach out to her and see what she has to say about it. This indentation is from the wallet being stored like this with something heavy on top of it. That totally could have been prevented if it wasn't stored improperly. And even whenever I stick my hand in here to try to pop it out, look, all of the texture is completely ruined from that just being dug into there. Shame for shame. Take care of your pieces, guys. Let's see what some Brasso and a polisher can do for the hardware here. All right, it is definitely shinier. Some of the scratches are removed, but there is obviously still a two-tone-ness also. Yeah, it's definitely still two-tone. You see that? Silver and then going into gold. I'm not satisfied with it yet. I'm actually going to crank this thing up to 2 on the speed and polish and see if I can improve this. It's shinier, but just right there where they touch and where somebody's fingers would be, it's like the gold has rubbed off. That is unfortunate. That is why I need to learn how to electroplate. All right, I think I might have found where the glue came from that was on the inside of this bag. I think, I'm not positive, but when I started to move this around, because it needs new stitches, all of this old stitching needs to be burned off, it needs new edge coat. Guess what? This is glued together. Somebody tried to do this repair, and I say tried because I don't know. Honestly, I want to say maybe they prevented it from becoming worse, but they actually made it worse, because now all of this is going to have to be cut off, which includes the original stitch line there. So it's never going to line up perfectly. Somehow we're still lined up on this side though. But yeah, it is glued. It's glued down in there. Maybe I don't think I can break the glue loose without ripping the leather. all of this is going to have to be trimmed off. So I'll get an X-Acto knife or something in here. And we are going to cut it off even where it should be. Say it should be like that. Is it possible that the canvas shrank that much faster than the leather? And that's again why this is curled. Huh. Either way, I'm gonna have to cut this off. I will try not to cut it off too much in case it shrinks a bit more. Very interesting. Like, I want to get a leather sewing machine, because if you undid all of this stitching, would the leather then stand up that much taller than the canvas, and then you could lay the canvas down flat? That would truly be like reconstructing this wallet, though. Louis Vuitton, why do you do this with your canvas products? Why? They always need so much repair after so few years, in my opinion. I'm looking at the initials here, IM, and I'm doing this wallet for my sister. I asked her what else I could put here, and she wants a C for her initial and an airplane because she's a flight attendant. So I'm going to have to come up with the perfect solution to make a C where you're not going to see this I, and I'm thinking like that could be the side of the C, and it could curve up, and then I have to be able to turn the M into an airplane. So no small task here, but I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge. I am definitely taking this wallet to my laser engraver. I have a whole video out about my X-Tool laser engraver. This is the first time that I've ever used it on a purse, let alone a purse repair. So what I did was I recreated the I and the M, and it very much looks Times New Roman. So way to go to think outside of the box there, Louis Vuitton. So I'm just going to shrink down this Times New Roman font because I'm trying to replicate what is already inside the bag and then see how I can fix that, how I can cover it. It's like covering a tattoo. So I move it over, I move the C and the plane over, and I basically just played around with several different fonts of the C until I found one that wasn't going to be so long that it seemed like that would be too long, and that would actually cover up where it says Louis Vuitton at the bottom. You don't want that, obviously. So I found a font that I feel like covers where the I is. The airplane, interestingly enough, the M kind of lent itself to an airplane better than what I thought, because if you look at the tail end of the plane, I thought, I think I can do something with this. And I feel like it all worked out really well, but I just wanted to give you guys this inside look at the X-Tool process of actually creating something online. If you've ever created with a Cricut, then you could create with the X-Tool. It is fairly simple and easy to use. Okay, this process may look a little crazy if you've never used a laser engraver, because it is actually, as a blue light frame, exactly where this item is going to be engraved. You can see it moving on the left side of the screen there whenever I move it on the computer. So I'm trying to line that C up to perfectly cover the I. I can actually see where this item is going to be engraved before I engrave it. This is, again, more prep work. This is taping over the trim before you paint the room, guys. It is absolutely necessary. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. You only get one chance to get this right. So this is me doing my best to get it right, essentially. I think I have everything where it should be, so we're going to go ahead and close this down. I have protective glasses on at this point. Laser is not something that you want to look at. On video, it's fine, but not with the naked eye. It could definitely damage your eyes. So if you are laser engraving, use proper eye protection. Look at that. I am not a laser expert by any stretch of the imagination. I am honestly pretty new to laser engraving. I've laser engraved metal, wood, paper, cardboard, now leather, a Louis Vuitton bag, and I never engrave a new material that I don't have a glass of water handy, because I thought I was going to set this thing on fire. Let me just tell you, I did a very low power pass. I basically just wanted an outline on there, something I could cover if I had it wrong, but I needed to see, do I have the initials covered? And y'all, they are covered. And then something terrible happened. The masking tape that I was using to tape this thing down popped up, so it did move a little bit, but I don't think that there will be any problem. It actually added kind of a neat shadow to everything. But now this time I think I'm doing at least 3 different passes. I definitely ended up doing, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 passes on this just to ensure that everything was as it should be. So this is the second pass. And then here I think is where we decided to go for broke, go dark, and I did like 4 or 5 different passes all at once. This is on 500 speed and 70% power if you have an X tool and you want to know what my settings were. I think other settings could work potentially as well, but knowing how many passes I wanted to do and wanting to have the option of repositioning or getting this right, that's what I went with on this tool. Let's open it up and see how everything went. I'm expecting this to be a lot darker now than that initial pass, and it is much darker. Oh my gosh, I love the way this is looking. Now you can see when the tape moved, we did move over a little bit to the left. Sometimes mistakes are just unavoidable, y'all, but I think I'm going to be able to cover all of that with brown paint, and I'm really happy with how this is looking. And it honestly could be that like somebody else's sister would have to live with someone else's monogram in their wallet, but not my sister. Like, why would she have to do that? I literally redesign purses on YouTube. Why would she ever have to? Psst, no. All right, let's see how well this factory Angelus brown matches, just so I can get some of the dark color. Okay, it's not terrible. I do think it could be darkened a little bit. I do think that. And I'm also just now realizing that I didn't do any prepper at all on this. I probably should have done that. But I can see the direction we're going, okay? So, let's roll this back off real quick. Ooh, it actually just kind of worked it into the crevices, which I'm not mad about. I kind of love. Okay, prepper and deglazer first. This is the Angelus prepper and deglazer. If I had to guess what it is, I'm going to guess it's acetone base because it smells like straight nail polish. But this was specially formulated for painting leather and painting purses. So I am just going to go around everywhere that I expect to be putting a little paint down, essentially, and I'm going to prep it because the paint is going to adhere if it's all in the prep work. All right, so I said that we needed to darken the brown, but ever so slightly, like honestly just a scotch. I'm gonna get some black and mix it with a little bit of brown. Gosh, I almost hate to darken it. It's like such a close match. Let's go ahead and lay down 1 coat of brown, see what it looks like, and then we'll go from there, okay? I'm talking you guys into this. Also, I so appreciate all the comments on my last video about how much you guys hated that I didn't talk. Because let me just tell you that since I've had my YouTube channel, I always have someone show up in the comments saying that I talk too much, I talk too fast, they don't like that I talk. And when I say there was a request for me to do purse videos not saying anything, there really was, guys. People just wanted music or just wanted the sounds of the brushes and things. And I kind of thought the same thing the majority of y'all thought. Well, couldn't you just mute me? Couldn't you just put me on mute? But I was like, oh, maybe I do talk too much. Maybe I share too much. Maybe they need a break from my voice. And so I put that video out and you guys were like, absolutely not. Don't you ever come on here not talking again. And that's just great because I feel like, what is it, Susan Lucci? Is that her name? You like me. You really like me. Okay, that last little part I had to concentrate. I had to stop talking for a second. I need to clean these meta glasses that I'm recording this with because they're getting kind of cloudy. And I need to take them off just to see what I'm doing. This is looking so good though. I'm in debate because originally I told her I was going to do everything in gold, and I may still, but it looks so pretty. It looks like I painted it in dark brown. All right, I texted her to see which one that she likes. I think she's supposed to land soon, how appropriate, and so I'll wait to hear back from her. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and work over to the other side of the bag that needed some attention here. Ooh, I still think I might need some. I mean, it dries darker, So the other kind of blended right in, but I might need to mix a little bit of a darker brown for this. We'll see how it dries. All right, since I do have some black, let's mix up just the teeniest, tiniest little bit of a darker color here. It's just not going to take much. Like, I feel silly even pulling these colors out because I need about that much. Sometimes when I'm painting, I'm just pulling it out of the lids. Like, it seems like this tiny little 1 ounce bottle that wouldn't go very far. I'm going to own that thing for a year. I'll probably own it long enough for it to, I don't know, to need to buy more because I've had it so long. All right. Let's take a clean brush then and add, that's probably too much black. Add that little dot and see if I'm darkening this. Ooh, that's a pretty color. That's probably dark enough. Add just a little bit more. That's probably enough. No, let's go for broke and add more. All right, the black and the brown over here. Now with this darker color, but I'll probably also need some of this on the outside for touch up. So it's good that I have it. I really like it dark though. I wonder what she's gonna pick. If she likes it dark or if she's gonna want gold on it. Y'all, I've been making people presents since I was itty bitty. I remember this one time my sisters and I decided for Father's Day we were gonna make my dad a fishing reel. And we took a spool of thread and a stick. You can imagine what this looked like. Like, I always wondered why that man didn't fish with, with the fishing pole that we made him. It was a stick with a spool of thread mounted to the side of it. And I just couldn't understand why I never saw him take that fishing. One time I took a bunch of like old cereal boxes and food boxes and made like a desk organizer. Like, I don't know, I think my sisters were in on these adventures. We were just always making random gifts, and we would put on shows in the living room for my parents to come like watch us sing and dance, and we would charge them a quarter. We had a newspaper at our house. I remember there even being an obituary section where like I found this dead bird in the yard and wrote up its obituary, and we would charge my grandma and my parents to read that newspaper. So is it any wonder that the people in my life are still getting homemade gifts from me, and I'm 39? All right, I asked her, and she is confident that she wants it to shimmer and have some gold. I can tell I'm gonna have to put a little bit of duller here. So we'll do that, but we will do it cleaning up any mess I make with the gold. So let's go ahead and get the gold paint down. Okay, things went from bad to worse, and look at this. I'm on the phone with her right now, and I said, girl, I don't even know how to fix this, what I just did. And she says, if it was anyone else, I'd be worried, but I'm not worried. I just wanted to record this moment so she can look back and say, what the 6-year-old Play-Doh mess is that? This is where we started, and we can only go up from here. Alright, it is official. There are blood, sweat, and tears in this project now because I was trying to get this Cricut pen and I forgot that my Cricut tools were in there, like sharps, and I stuck my hand down in there and now I'm bleeding, so she better love this thing forever. The plane is now brown again. I'm going to try to go in. This is rose gold. I have a gold one somewhere, but I'm going to try to go in and see if I can trace the plane with this rose gold. We'll just see what it looks like. I tried to take some of the gold off and then I painted around it again because I feel like the only thing I can do at this point is go back to where we were when I said, hey sis, do you want this color or do you want this gold? I should have just left it this color because I can't get the burn back in the plane without putting it under the laser engraver again. I don't know what's going to happen when I do that. So I'm going to try to get the brown all around it. It's looking good. I'm going to try to go center this again and see if we can take off everything that I just did and just get back to where we were, which was a happy place. And I don't know if my sister's trying to gas me up or if she truly just blindly believes in me the way I blindly believe in myself sometimes. She's like, girl, it's going to be fine. I'm like, you're not looking at what I'm looking at. So kudos and props to her for believing in her little sister. And for all of you older siblings believing in your younger siblings. Let's go back to the laser engraver. All right, turning the laser engraver back on, trying to get it where I had it. Let's go ahead and try some framing here. I do think I need to move it up just a tiniest little scotch, maybe. No, I don't want to move both of those. See if we can move this down a little bit. That looks pretty close. All right, we're gonna give it a pass. See what it looks like. Okay, I think I got it lined up. I think it's lined up. All right, we're gonna do like 5 passes on it like that. All right, see what we're working with. Okay, that is so much better. I can definitely clean up around the edges of that. I think I think we're gonna call this good. So obviously I need to get the little bit of gold, the paint that I had on the edge, I need to cover that up. And I am so sorry that it cannot be gold. I know that she wanted it gold. So I have some gold foil. I want to figure out a way to be able to make things gold like this. I'll keep working. And I know like a heat press and a heat stamp is how they do it and how, you know, that could have been done, but I don't have those tools. I definitely don't have them today. So if anyone wants to buy me a heat press and a heat stamp and send it, I have a PO box that we don't have that today. Okay. So we're working with what we have. And I happen to have a laser engraver, which is, I realize, kind of a weird tool to just have. Like, it's literally in my kitchen right now. I set it up in there though. I did take it down because family wanted more place at the bar to eat. And no one has room for a laser engraver to just be taking up a space at the bar. Oh, this is so much better. That gold was just, it was crazy. It could have been something. It could have been something really good, but it wasn't. It was something really bad. So I'm so glad that we were able to recover. So maybe Christina was right in having faith that we would get back to a good place, because this is a good place. I actually like it even more than before because it's darker now. I do think it needs a little bit of duller, especially over here. You can see that brown shiny is, it's too shiny. So I have like 20 minutes before I have to pick up my son. I'm going to mix up a little bit more of the more brown tone paint, and I'm going to put some duller in with it to bring the sheen down. It does exactly what it says it does. The duller I use is also created by Angelus. I think it adds like a cornstarch type of, you see how that's dry and powdery? It adds that powderiness into what you're working on. So that's too much. Before I pick up my son and then go get the thread color that I need, because I feel like this one is a close match, but it's a little bit too bright. I need a darker, kind of a mustard brown, like a spicy mustard. I am going to burn off all of the little loose threads here though. Are any of these scaring you guys enough that you're like blowing on the computer screen, blowing on your phone? Maybe that one that was really long. Ooh, how about this one? I have a broken corner here, this broken edge piece. I don't want that to get any worse. But I'm wondering exactly what would be the best repair for this. It may be that just whenever I put edge coat on it and pull it up in line, edge coat alone along the edges may pull that back into place. So I'll go ahead and do, oh, this one's the same way. I'll do those two corner repairs and leave that to dry while I go get my thread. This is what edge coat is. It is actually called edge coat, but note the way that coat is spelled. I always have this linked below in the description and videos that I use it. Gonna give it a good shake, shake, shake. You can buy edge coat tools that look exactly like this, or you can go to the Dollar Tree and get this clay tool along with like 5 or 6 other tools, and it was $1.25. It is not $1.25. If you search edge coat tool, this is exactly what they look like, but I feel like they're not plastic. Anyway, you just get a little bit and see it attaches exactly like you need it to. I'm going to pull this in line where it needs to be and put edge coat in an attempt to secure it where it should be. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we have other options, but I like to do a lot of experimenting. Someone asked on a video recently, how did you know that was going to work? I don't even remember what it was about. And I said, I didn't know that it was going to work. I don't ever know. Some of this stuff I know because I've done it before. You guys have seen repeat techniques in videos. But a few of the things, I don't know that it's going to work. Everything is figure outable. Just figure it out. And then if it does work, please share the knowledge with the rest of the world and with the internet. You see how that's all split open? That shouldn't be like that. So we can take the edge coat all the way down. It's cool. And if your edge coat doesn't match perfectly, like this doesn't, I have a hack for that too. You don't have to buy 800 different shades of brown edge coat. I'm really satisfied with the color that I got of thread. I wish that it was a little bit thicker, but it is a pretty close color match. This is called, it's color 0047 of Coats and Clark. I have some hair cutting scissors here. I wonder if these will be small enough to be able to cut off this extra. If not, I may have to get like cuticle scissors, or an X-Acto knife would work. Alright, it is time to color the edge coat. Let's get my stain markers out here. I think that this one is a pretty good match for what we need it to be. These are always quite a bit darker than what they actually look. So let's take this and see. Yeah, that's gonna be the color I feel like we actually need on the edge. every time I think I'm actually done with this wallet, I think of something else I could do to it. So I was just like buffing and cleaning the inside, and then I thought, oh duh, I know what I could do to make the sheen match perfectly, and it needs finisher anyway. So I have a little Angelus finisher here mixed with the duller. So instead of just applying this to where I painted, I'm going to apply it to this entire panel. And then when it dries, everything here will have the same sheen. It'll have the same gloss. Does that make sense? It's just going to seal and protect my paint, but it's also going to give, you know, the same sheen all the way across for everything. If I hadn't done all the extras, this one would not have taken so long. Are you ready for the after? This wallet was truly the Van Gogh of Louis Vuitton wallets, because from a distance everything looked okay, but it had so many structural issues. This is after. The shape is better, the edges are better, the corners are better. It's no longer at risk of falling apart by using it, which is the whole point and purpose of my rehab and repair videos. I want to take these items that are junk and bring them back into circulation and more back into use. I don't care if none of these ever be or are resold. I want someone to be able to use these. So I think our edge is a lot better, because let me just remind you of where we came from. Remember this? This is not a wallet that in 5 years you would still be using if you didn't repair it. Let's take a peek at the inside. Remember, there was the remnants of someone else's initials in there. There was a lot of discoloration. The sheen dried perfectly. This looks like a factory finish. I'm so happy with that Angelus finisher and a little bit of duller. If you think that this wallet turned out great, please share this video, like this video. I thank you so much for being here, and don't forget to subscribe, because a good percentage of you guys are still not subscribed. So what are you waiting for? I will see you tomorrow in the next one.